Hey, Tater Man. South Carolina. Oh my God. You lost to South Carolina 31-30. Congratulations, you tried real hard. And you know what's bad? Everything was on the line for Clemson. Clemson had every opportunity in front of them to make the playoffs. All you had to do was beat a terrible South Carolina team. And yeah, sorry, Carolina man, y'all are terrible. All you had to do was beat a terrible South Carolina and an even more terrible North Carolina. And you were well on your way to the playoffs, the 4 seed, where you would have earned the opportunity to get absolutely humiliated by Georgia, the 1 seed, in the Peach Bowl. But nope, can't do that. Come out and lose to your in-state rival, your little brother, South Carolina. This is humiliating for you. What is Dabo Swinney doing? How do you lose this game? At home? You lost at home? Oh, you hadn't lost a home game since 2016, woo. Well, it's 2022, dummy. Now you haven't won a home game since today. You haven't won a home game since today. What a shame. What a shame. Hey, did you fucking idiots rush the field after y'all lost to South Carolina? I know you did. It's not rushing the field, woo. It's called meeting at the paw. Did you meet at the paw? Huh? Give each other a bunch of hugs and pat each other on the back? Help console each other? Jesus. Did you pat Dabo on the head? Tell him how proud you are of him? You tried real hard, Dabo. Hey, Ukulele, good job with the 90 yards passing today. 90 yards passing against South Carolina. Just a dumpster fire of a team. But guess what? Clemson's worse. Clemson's worse. Spencer Rattler threw for almost 400 yards on you. Spencer Rattler made you look like Tennessee on defense. Y'all are, what a joke. South Carolina couldn't run the ball. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. Y'all's defense is best defense in college football. Well, I wish y'all could go back to last offseason and erase all the dumb shit y'all said about your defense. Might be the best front 7 in history, woo. What front 7? Your defense is terrible. 360 yards passing to the worst quarterback in the SEC, Spencer Rattler. Y'all ought to be ashamed. You ought to be ashamed. It's one thing to lose to South Carolina when you're like a 7-4, 7-5 team or whatever. You had everything on the line, everything to play for. And I don't want to hear, well, we weren't that good, woo. We weren't that good. Even if we got in the playoffs, we would have lost, woo. Yeah, I know that, because you would have been matched up against Georgia. Of course you would have lost. It's still better to make the playoffs and lose than it is not to make the playoffs. And it's definitely better to beat South Carolina than to not beat them. We beat them like 48-7. We beat them 48-7. They're a better team now than they were then. Really? Because they lost to Florida 2 weeks ago, 38-6. South Carolina did. And the only 6 points they scored was on a punt return or a block punt or some shit. Then they come out against you. It looks like an NFL All-Pro team on offense. Spencer Rattler. Look, Spencer Rattler is... Here's how bad. Spencer Rattler is so bad, he's worse than the Ukulele. That's how bad he is. This is poor Dabo. I can't wait. Is Dabo going to blame this on ESPN? Is he going to blame this on the media? Is he going to vote South Carolina 130th in his media poll next week? What a Dabo. Good thing he hired 2 9-year-olds, one to run his offense and one to run his defense. This just in. You got a shitty defense and a shitty offense. Hired a couple of 9-year-olds that don't know what they're doing. Starting to look like the head coach don't know what he's doing. You know what Clemson needs? Here's what Clemson needs. They clearly don't have the talent on the roster to compete with the big boys. They don't even have the talent to compete with South Carolina, as sad as that sounds. You know what Clemson needs? Clemson needs college football to implement some kind of a new rule. Like, let me see. Let me try to think of a good way to describe or explain this. You know how the NFL has free agency? So, in the NFL, you have a draft, right? And that's where you go out and get new players that have never been in the NFL. So in this case, coming out of college or whatever, Well, college has that. It's called recruiting. You get them out of high school. But in the NFL, they also have something called free agency, where players that are already in the NFL but are looking to play for a different team, they can enter this thing called free agency. And then every other team has an opportunity to sign those existing NFL players out of the free agency pool. College football needs something like that Dabo can dip into and try to find the talent that's clearly missing on that Swiss cheese roster. That roster's got more holes in it. College football needs something like that. They could call it like the transfer portal or something. Would be a good name for it. College football really needs that. Clemson needs that. I really don't know what to say about losing to South Carolina. I know the excuses. The Clemson fans are going to say, I don't even care that we lost. If we'd have gotten the playoffs, we'd have lost. You wanted to get in the playoffs, dummy. Of course you wanted to get in the playoffs. All you did last year was cry, bitch, and moan like a 3-year-old girl about playing in the Cheez-It Bowl. Now you're trying to piss down my leg and tell me it's raining by saying that you want to go to the Cheez-It Bowl. That's what you wanted the whole time this year. Man, thank God we lost to a pitiful, piss poor, pathetic, and sad shit show of a team called South Carolina, because I really didn't want to make the playoffs, woo. No, I had a good time watching us play something called Iowa State last year in the Triscuit Bowl, and I can't wait to do it again, woo. You're full of shit. Of course you wanted to go to the playoffs. Well, it's not happening. Sorry, it's not happening, Tater Man. Wow, no wonder you're 18-43 against Georgia all time. You just can't compete, Dabo Swinney. I can't wait to hear this crybaby in the press conference. This guy's been sponsored by Kleenex for years. He's going to need an awful lot of it. An awful lot of it. The fans will make excuses. The fans are going to blame the coordinators. They're going to blame DJ Ukulele. Who recruited DJ Ukulele and signed him? Oh, Dabo Swinney? Oh, okay. Who made the decision to keep playing DJ Ukulele all year this year when he continued to stagnate the offense? Clemson's offense was horrendous this year. It was unwatchable. You're out here running all kinds of plays with DJ Ukulele that he ain't got no business running. Well, it's the coordinator's fault. Oh, yeah? Who hired that coordinator? Clemson could have done a national search for an actual, real offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. Did they? No. Promote from within because we promote a family atmosphere. Yeah, well, the family atmosphere's got you sitting at 10-2 with another trip to the Cheez-It Bowl. Have a great day, dummy.